Welcome to the today's session, which is on Microsoft Power Apps. We are today discussing with about the build your application with Power App. So today we are going to go through the basic on the Microsoft Power Apps. I am MD Tahmidul Abidin. I am a software engineer in Genweb 2, and I'm also a SharePoint consultant. Currently, I am being awarded as an C# Corner MVP. I have completed the Microsoft certification on solution development and currently working with ASP.NET Office 365 solutions and Azure solution development. So all my articles and other documentations which have been created has been stored in this single location, my website. You can go there and check all those things and ask any questions if you want. So let's start with the Microsoft Power Platform. So Microsoft thought like previously they want to come in this business. So with this Power Platform, so Microsoft Power Apps is an important member of this Power Platform. So there are other two members which are Power BI and Power Automate, previously known as yes.
আসুন ভাই এই সেশনটা কি রেকর্ড করা করলে ভালো হয় না মানে রেকর্ড করা থাকলে পরবর্তীতে আমরা অনেকে দেখে নিতে পারতাম বা
এটা মনে হয় রেকর্ড করা হচ্ছে ভাইয়া।
হ্যাঁ অলরেডি এটা রেকর্ডিং হচ্ছে।
ওকে ঠিক আছে সরি ভাই আমি মানে
No,
বুঝতে পারিনি
thank
ওকে
sure, thank you. So all these three components are based on Azure. All this functionality they are providing us, they in the baseline, the core technology is Azure. They are using Azure to provide us this technology as a SaaS model. Okay, instead of buying the Azure functionality and developing the features and using them, instead of that, Microsoft is providing this Power Apps, Power BI, and Power Automate, which is based on Azure. So all the functionalities and features will we get that will be smooth as Azure we get and real. So in these three elements is connected internally with the common data service for apps and data connectors. Also, we can these applications can be used as a standalone applications. Also, we can embed them with Dynamics 365 and Office 365. Okay, so as we are talking today with the Power Apps, so what is Power Apps, right? So in basic, we can say that Power Apps is a service where anyone can develop a business application as they want. So Microsoft has given the definition by book like is a Power Apps is a service for build and using custom business apps that connect to the data and work across to the web and mobile without the time and expense of the custom software development. So basically Power Apps the Microsoft has targeted the business users or end users to use this application so that they don't need to write code or anything else, just drag and drop something like that. Also, they have included some features which an IT admin can enrich that application. And behind that, there are some opportunities where an experienced developer can use that and make this application more usable and more robust. So what is the features in Power Apps? So this is a cross-platform application. We can use it anywhere we want, like in web, iOS, Android, anywhere. There are some things that we need to run this application, but we don't need to develop different types of application like what we previously needed. Like for web, we have website. For iOS and Android, different applications we are going to build, but that is not needed here. Okay, one application we will build and all the platform will support that. So the authoring is very much easy in Power Apps. So you can introduce any other data connectivity APIs. Already most of them are provided. Like you just need to click them, provide your URL of the data connection and authorization, and that will be connected easily. If that is on your own domain, you don't need to provide the authorization also. You just select that thing and that will be connected. So that's a very much easier thing. And also there are some like validation. You want to try to validate a field. Here is a field, so you want to validate the date field. So instead of writing code or knowing the JavaScript or other things, you can just like write down the formula. Here we have a formula panel like Excel, where we write formulas in Excel. That type of way we can write this formula. Okay, so that's why this is very much easy for an end user or a business developer who knows the domain but doesn't knows the development that much. So that is easier for them. So next thing Microsoft providing is this enterprise grade management and control. So in Power Platform, if you buy a license, you got something like a Power App, Power Automate, and other things. So you can integrate them in a single platform with each another. Okay. Also, you can connect them with your other Office 365 applications, all the Microsoft provided or built applications, and you can connect both on-premise and online application here. Other than Microsoft, like there is a provided connectivity for our Dropbox, also Twitter and other things. You can do that just calling a function that has been already provided. Okay. So all the also for Power Apps, like in other application, we have to authorize the application to the users, like with AD or maybe form authentication like that. We have to manage that authentication system to authenticate the user to come in this application. But here, when we are using Power Apps, we are authenticating the user with the Azure Active Directory. So that authentication hassle we don't need to take on our mind. Okay. And we can also use the other functionality Microsoft already providing, like multi-factor authentication. Okay. Two-factor authentication is already provided by Microsoft. In the ADU, if we make it sure to on, so we don't need to go through all this hassle, write the code to make that. Okay. So that's the beauty of this Power Apps. Like you don't need all those hassles. Those need to be done for a custom development. Okay. So what is the application type here? So there are different types of applications we can develop here and embedded in different application with Power Apps. In generic, we can divide them in two ways. Let's say a standalone Canvas app. They are saying this Canvas app. This is one type of application. You have to start this application from the scratch. You will design your graphics, your controls, all those already those are provided. You have to drop down and provide the size or colors or something like that. But you can start that from the scratch. Okay. So that we are saying that standalone Canvas application. In this standalone Canvas application, you can integrate any APIs you want, but they are already providing that Power Automate, which has already 3,100 plus connectivity with different applications. So if you connect your Power Automate with your Canvas app, then connecting other applications will be very much easier. Also, Power Automate is a very helpful and strong tool for creating business workflows. So whenever we are thinking about we are creating the app with Canvas app like a form. Okay, let's say a leave application. So whenever the application has been submitted, we need to go through some approval. So with this Power Automate support, we can do that easily. That has been already provided. So also this Canvas app can be embedded with Office 365 like SharePoint form, or you can say like Teams form. There we can do those development with this type of Canvas app. In the other hand, we have customized Dynamics 365 applications. So for specifically Dynamics 365, they have provided different type of pre-designed designer to design the form, design the entity, design the view, and other things. So for specifically Dynamics 365, we have enriched way to create our required forms or views or dashboard, whatever we need with that. And there are some specific template that can be customized, but given template, which is easier for a business user to create. For Canvas app, you have to go through some part by part or step by step development procedure, not that writing code, but you have to go through some procedure. So these are the difference between those two. Okay, so let's say what are the specific difference in the Canvas app. Okay, so Canvas Power Apps, we have already saying that Canvas app, and that's basically divided regarding how we can build or develop this application with Power App. So we can go with the Canvas apps and go with model driven apps. So Canvas apps, as we already said, we have to start with from the scratch and design the UI and all those things. So in this way, we can design it as we like. For model driven apps, if you know about like SharePoint, okay, if anyone have the knowledge of SharePoint, there is a SharePoint list. With the all SharePoint list, they have provided some default form to enter the data. Okay, so but you want some different things, different logics, the validation, something like that. So you can Power Apps can be helpful. So there you don't need to go to the Canvas app. You can go that's an option, but you don't need that. You just there is an option you can customize your app with Power App. So you just need to click that, and with that model driven apps procedure, your application Power App will provide you an already default build application. Like you have a form with 8 fields. So different types of fields. One is drop down, one is a date field, one is a string and other things. So when we are creating this way, so it will create a default form with a specific design to us, so we can change them as we need. Even we need to create a dashboard with those datas, like we have a list of datas, we can also model driven approach, we can do that. In this way, that would be easier to develop the application. Okay, so if we go through the in deep with Canvas app, Canvas app helps business power users to create and use custom business apps like cross platform for anywhere, and also the usability or the um, usability here is we can we are saying like the different type application we can run in our web, mobile and other things. So with this Canvas app, that can be possible. Okay, if we take this little burden like to design this application by ourselves, like dropping down and designing the size and other things, that can make we can use that in all our mobiles and web application. So here in Canvas app, we can connect this data with our system. Also, there is a thing like you want to create an business application for your office, like you don't have an data connectivity, okay, server. You don't need that. You just want to save that in Excel. So with this Canvas app, you can create a Canvas app, and in backend, you can save those data in your Excel. That's an huge feature, I think, for minimizing the cost for a small type application. So also here we can use different types of forms and workflows without writing any code. Okay, so this type of features provided by Canvas app. So a Canvas app has this is a look like what the Canvas app looks. So as for the time shortage, I'm not going to a demo, so I have taken some screenshot and showing it here. Okay, so if you can see in the left side, there are some components name. These are table, graph, button. So we are providing these buttons that is there, and we can select specific components and change that as required. That is very much easier. We don't need to go where is this and selecting that. We have the component list in the our side. Okay. So what is Canvas app providing? That craft from and screens, different types of screens, like we have an application, new form, edit form, and view form, right? 3 types of form we need in generic. So that can be done in Canvas app. And taking advantage, like we can, if we like taking the snapshot from the camera and use that in our input in our Power App, that can also be possible. Okay, that's a great feature. Also, we can do our business logic with this. Let's say you want to validate a different data source from your Power Apps and return that result in that form in the minimum time. So what you can do, you can also add an API, but instead of API, you can only call your Power Automate, where it is already provided all the APIs. So that will be triggered in a button click, and that will give you in a milliseconds the results in Power Apps screen. So that's a huge feature, I think. So next is the model-driven apps. So model-driven apps is nothing else, as we are saying that we can select a data source as the embedded app, like Teams or SharePoint or Dynamics. So we select the data source and create the form or view or dashboard with the provided template. And for a simpler requirement, that is very easier. You just need to see your data which are there, okay, in a specific template. So you select your data, you select this template and press create button. Power App will select the data with the template. They will provide you that dashboard in a couple of minutes. So that's a huge support from Power Apps we are getting with this model-driven approach. Okay. So what are the difference, this model difference and Canvas app we are having? Okay. User experience, this is model-driven is negative because that is basically provided by the Power App itself. But in Canvas app, we are doing that on our own. So that's a plus. Business solution, this we can use this Canvas in a simply, we can use our business solution simple way. But if we want to edit the provided model driven application, that would be complex, because as we are seeing that model driven approach, Power Apps is creating that application and providing us. So editing that is a hassle, but not that much. So next one is app feature set. So app feature set for model driven is plus, but Canvas is a negative. Data validation is both way we can do that. Data source, here is a negative, like we are already selecting the specific data source before creating an app, right? So adding a different data source, we have to go through this complexity to business situation managing that. But Canvas app, we are adding one by one thing. So we can adding this data source easily and manage them that much. So else we can extensibility is very much available. So configuration, that is a negative, which is Microsoft is saying, but in my eyes that is easier, because you are not writing any code, like you are dropping selecting an item and drag and drop. So that is very much easier, I think. Okay. So other than that, Power Apps, what I can say, like for my experience, when you are creating a leave application with a limited type of requirement, so there you can use Power Apps and Power Automate easily. These type of applications also, let's say you have a company, trading company. So in a new requirement, you need to contact with a new company where you have some trading is going on. So you need a form and an approval. You will input the thing, and in a different location of your application, let's say you are working in Dhaka and the boss is sitting in Chittagong. So instead of writing the form, scanning that, sending it to your boss, and getting the approval by mail. That's a long, hectic work. So with these Power Apps, you don't need a developer. With your license with Power Apps, you can create that Power App form very easily with a limited component. And on the back end, you can add your Power Automate, which will send an email with an built-in feature for approving to your boss who is sitting in Chittagong, and he can approve that and send it to you back. So you will have an approved copy in a couple of minutes. So this type of application, we can use Power Apps very much easier. Thank you for attending today. That is much for today. For the next session, I will go through and demo. So